The materials we need for the assembly of the circuit: we have the thermostat XH W3002. I ordered it on AliExpress, the link in part description. A bulb holder. A male plug. A male plug, a so-called incandescent heating bulb or an electrical resistance for heating the incubator, a LED bulb for viewing the interior of the incubator. This type of bulb should not emit heat because if you forget it, after turning it on, it will not constitute risk of overheating for the incubator. Its role is to only allow viewing from the inside without having to resort to opening the incubator. Over-opening an incubator can cause inconvenience in the incubation process. A fan that works in 220 volts because the thermostat works with alternating current. You should pay attention to the kinds of components you use depending on your thermostat model. We need the electric wire for the various cabling. We need terminal block for the assembly and setup of the incubator circuit. In the first two holes we will connect the two wires serving as the power supply for the thermostat. The following two will be used to connect the 220-volt output. It is at this 220-volt output that you will have to place the resistance or the heating bulb. The fan is connected in parallel with the resistance or the heating bulb. The next hole will connect the excess wires for the wiring between the bulb to the interior light of the incubator and the switch current input and output pins at thermostat level. By turning the thermostat, we see entered on the right input, which means input of the current 220 volts. In the center we see the writing output, which means output from the current. It is exactly these pins that will allow us successfully to supply the thermostat for its activation, but also to supply the other equipment belonging to the incubator circuit. The left part represents the incubator probe. It is based on a component called a thermistor. The probe allows you to start the incubator when the desired temperature level is not reached. When the desired temperature degree is reached, then the probe informs the thermostat microcontroller, which in turn automatically shuts off the heating source. Here, I present to you in a simplified way the wiring circuit of the incubator using the thermostat XH W3002. Here is the entry part marked by entry on the back of the device, color black and red. This is a way of the thermostat power supply, so as you can see in the diagram, we connect this part to the 220-volt mains current. There we have the exit marked by the black and yellow colored wires. The name on the back of the thermostat is output, which means output, so here it is a 220-volt output. You can see exactly in the picture that the heating bulb and the fan are connected in parallel on this 220-volt output. The bulb that will be used for viewing from inside the incubator connects to the 220-volt input. Why is the 220-volt input? Quite simply, it is because it is a permanent entry. When the part is connected to the current, nothing stops the flow of current. It is therefore a permanent current to which we can plug our viewing bulb from the inside. To control our bulb, we add a switch to control the bulb adjustment and wiring. Here is a picture of some actions to be taken during these thermostat circuit assembly operations. XH W3002. Using pliers, we cut the wire that we have provided for the wiring to size. We need a male plug to power our thermostat through the input pins. Here it is. We just have to proceed with the wiring by attaching the thermostat to the socket, or say to the wires carrying the socket. To do this we need a domino. So here is the assembly as indicated previously. The first two holes to tighten the 220-volt input or input part, red and black cables, the next two to tighten the 220-volt output or output part, and the fifth hole for tightening the junction of the cables between the bulb viewer and switch. Care should be taken when mounting the switch. Follow the recommendations in the diagram, which is unambiguous, or ask for help from a friend who has mastered the electrical wiring. 220-volt input connected to the socket. Now take a bulb holder. The bottom has two pins to which you must connect the electric wire. Here it is. It is done. All that remains is to associate it with the terminal block. We discover here the assembly. Red and black cable for input and yellow and black for output. For the purposes of the test, we are going to connect this old 220-volt fan in parallel with the heat bulb. Now it is high time to add a fan to the circuit. We can see the assembly is working properly. The thermostat reacted. The preset temperature has been reached. So the heat sources stop on instruction from the microcontroller. Added bulb previewing from inside. The circuit is complete. Now the test. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.